from TMZ. Waymo drives through middle of police standoff in Los Angeles. Oh my God. Welcome to the AI nightmare. Your stupid AI car doesn't understand anything outside of what the little lines in the street actually mean. So when there's bang, bang, get down, no, freeze, stop, gun, 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 the Waymo just keeps on keeping on. So we actually have the video here. Check this out. We're gonna play the clip here for you. Actually, I think I gotta get the audio going. There we go. Let's play this. Here's the
fucking Waymo. Oh my God. Oh my God. What the fuck is that Waymo doing?
Doing the backslag.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So here's the problem. Look at that guy. But there's no look. The guy's already on the ground, right? The issue is, as soon as the Waymo got in front of him, that dude could have ran for it. Because all of a sudden, those cops can't shoot. But here's the other problem. Imagine what happens if you're an accomplice of this guy, and the cops are telling everyone, back off, and the Waymo drives up, and the cops, are they going to be thinking, it's just a Waymo? And then, as it's slowly going towards him, it just slams the gas and just slams into him. The assumption that a Waymo is just being stupid, it can't happen. So you know what I think is going to happen? You know why I think this story exists? Not intentionally, doesn't matter. It's emergent. Okay, meaning these things are going to be like dominoes falling over. Police are going to demand the ability to override Waymos around them. Then people are going to say, well, you guys saw that video of the Waymo driving into the standoff, right? You don't want that to happen to you, do you? You could get shot. Of course police should have the ability to override AI cars.
This conversation's already been happening for about a year or two. They've been talking about being able to repo electric cars remotely.
Oh, they can.
So they're going to try.
Bro, it's going to happen with a Tesla.
Yes.
Like, so we got the new update, I guess, for the Cybertruck. And the way auto driving works is that you can click the little wheel on the steering wheel, and it'll start driving the address you put it into. If you're on a highway and you click auto drive, it'll just auto drive on the highway. If you're in a city, it's not going to turn or do anything. But if you punch in an address, it'll drive the whole way. So you can just literally sit there staying at the road, just does it for you. The new update, it'll start driving even from the parking lot. So today we went to eat, we sat down, and it said start auto drive in a gray box I'd never seen before. You click it, and it backs out of the parking space and then carries you on your way. We've talked about this for years, actually. You're going to get in your car. I mean, this is why I keep saying we got to make these short films. We got to get someone to do this. We can make these great little bits. A guy gets in his car, and then he goes, auto car, I'm going to work. And it goes, got it, taking you to work. Well, the AI doesn't talk that way anymore. That's an old trope from the 90s. But it'll go, got it, taking you to work. And then it'll start backing out. Then all of a sudden it'll stop and the lights will turn off. Everything will turn red and it'll go, receiving a notification from the police, outstanding warrant, bench warrant received. Car will be diverting to the local precinct, 66th Street. And then the doors lock. And then you're driven to the police station.
Stuck.
And it pulls up and the cops are waiting for you. And you're just in the car like this.
Look,
like
what if we could do that with illegals, though? This is kind of based. I mean, it applied properly.
You're taking jobs away from ICE. You just promoted ICE. We want people doing this.
Wait, by any means necessary.
Wait. Here's the play. Trump should announce that they're launching brand new free Waymos. It's like, we're going to make transport free because we believe in helping the poor. So federal cars in every city, use the app. And if they're available, you can have one. And then it's just as soon as someone gets in, it's like, gotcha. And then it just drives to ICE.
Right across the border.
It doesn't drive to ICE, drives straight to Tijuana.
No, it drives to Canada.
Like Toronto, here we come.
If you're having a so-called mental health episode or something, or you're dealing with like a psycho or something, you lure them into the car, involuntarily capture them, and then send them to prison.
It's pretty wild that
you could bait them with drugs in the car. You bait the crackheads with drugs into the car, and then jail them in the car, and then you could take them out of New York and send them to...
The government's been doing this for decades. They did it in Newburgh, New York.
It's going to be weird, in like 30 years when there's barely any humans left and almost everything is a robot and police are just robots. And you're walking down the street and the robot comes up to you and it goes, halt, citizen. You are caught jaywalking. And you go, I wasn't. I've been on the sidewalk all the time. It's like, stop resisting. And then it starts flashing lights. Yep. And then you're just like, I didn't do anything. And it just grabs you.
I knew it would stop if I called them anti-Semitic.
Yes. You'd be like, actually, this is racist police brutality. And it goes, I'm sorry about that. Please don't tell anyone.
I'm not jaywalking. I'm not jaywalking.
Did you film
this? What do you
this?
mean jaywalking?
Is that your phone? You did film it? Please don't put it on TikTok.
I knew the world was over the night before lockdowns happened in New York when I went to a supermarket and saw everyone like grabbing toilet paper, that whole thing. And there was a line out the door at the supermarket up in Cortland Manor, New York. And we're all in line out the door. And just slowly rolling by everyone is a googly-eyed robot on wheels staring at all of us. I'm like, well, that's it, folks. It was nice knowing you.
They're everywhere, dude.
Everywhere.
I can't remember. Was it like a Wegmans or something? I can't remember where I was.
Yeah.
And there was a giant robot, and they put googly eyes on it, and it makes me want to bash it with a baseball bat more.
It's to normalize it. I saw a googly-eyed robot like stalk a child in a Wegmans recently. I'm like, dude, don't stalk that child. We'll take you outside, robot.
What are the robots even doing?
They, from what I've seen, they see if there's a mess in an aisle, and then they just repeat mess on aisle 9, mess on aisle 9 until a human goes and cleans it, until the robot can clean it itself.
It'd be awesome if there's actually just like a guy in there pedaling. He's just
like an R2-D2 situation. Yeah.
Small person.
The grocery store doesn't want to admit they can't afford actual AI bots, so it's just a guy and he's just going like this.
I'd appreciate that. That'd be great.
Right?
It's about time we got a guy to patrol the
Yeah,
stores and
yeah.
make sure the messes are getting cleaned up.
It's fixing unemployment, right?
I have the Tesla auto drive has improved massively.
Sure has.
I've had a few close calls that were scary. It almost rammed another car. And it you know what really irks me is that in Charlestown it doesn't understand what no turn on red means. So it's always trying to turn on red when it says no turn on red. I'm like, this is weird to me. Can't you tell you're not allowed to do this? And then also there's a left turn only lane. It always tries to just ram the intersection. And I'm like, you will die if you do that. And then I'm, I'll tell you what really pisses me off. Elon, hear this. Dude, Tesla auto drive speeds like 20 over. No joke. If I get on the highway, let's say I'm like driving from like DC to, West Virginia. The speed limit's 55. I'll turn on auto drive and it'll start going 75 or 80.
They have different
You can
settings.
turn it down,
Yeah.
but why would it knowingly automatically do that?
Well, I mean, that's
Why?
why it gives you the option.
It is,
It should know
But it's the
speed limit.
default.
but this is crazy that there's an option to break the law. Tesla's like, would you like to set your robot to commit a crime? Yes. Okay. Like, everybody reasonably drives about 5 miles over. I will say it's getting increasingly crazier that when I was young, I was told everybody goes about 5 miles and over, you're fine. If you really get pulled over for speeding about 5 miles and over, the judge will probably throw it out. Now, people are speeding like 15 over everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's just nobody's taking the speed limit seriously, and the cops can just choose to pull you over if they don't like you. Mm-hmm. But it is crazy to me that I get on the highway and I have to manually tell it not to go that fast. If I'm if I'm on a side street, it'll go the right speed. As soon as it's on the highway, it's like, I'm going 80.
Does it know if there's a cop around, so it just slows down automatically?
No.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, it might be not in the car's data, but they may know because, like, Waze data and Google tracks all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that,
I don't know.
there is an interesting question of at what point do police get the ability to override your car? And more importantly, at what point the question needs to be asked, why is it possible for Tesla to know the speed limit is 55 and it'll show you on the screen, but actually automatically break the law?
Well, I don't think the speed limit's ever above 100, but cars are still made to be able to go 100 miles per hour. So, I mean,
but that's a choice you make to go 100 miles an hour. The issue I'm bringing up is you can turn on autopilot and it will choose to break the law.
Well, you can choose to have it go to like chill or sloth mode if you don't want to break the speed limit at all.
I guess
It's
the question
same
is,
choice
it's a
situation.
tool, and you could choose what you do with the tool. And if you want to break the law with the
my
tool,
point is we are going to enter a future where they make it so that cars can only go the speed limit. When we are right now, we're in the overlap we're looking at is you get in the car, you press the accelerator down, and you try to keep the speed at the right limit. You can slam it and fly down the street if you want to by flooring it because this is a product of a pre-AI world. When every car is pre-programmed and it's all AI, they will not be allowed to violate the speed limit. When every car they're going to outlaw driving. It's going to happen. Driving will be illegal, and every car will be automated, and car ownership will be rare. I think it was, I don't know if it was Uber who said this, but the vision is every single car is just fleets that all interact with each other. So there's never traffic ever again. When you're about to pull onto a highway during rush hour, instead of getting jammed and everyone's trying to move and slow, every car can stop and start at the same time. So all of a sudden, you're in your car on the highway, and it slows down 1 mile an hour, and you see a gap forming very slowly with the car in front of you, and then a car slides in perfectly, and no one ever stops. They may increase or get rid of speed limits. They may say you don't need a speed limit because nobody can drive. Every car just must go the same speed. That's where we're going.
I'm removing one piece of technology from my house every day until my wife wakes up and realizes we're Amish. And I'm going to have a horse and carriage. And that's how we're going to live out our days, because I don't like that future. They're going to make the cop cars go fast as they want.
Bro, I'm telling you, like,
feds.
the vision I had is you're going to be an old man and your grandkids are going to be hanging out. You're going to be in your, nice field or whatever, and the dog's catching the Frisbee. And then your grandkid's going to be like, Grandpa, what are all of those weird things floating in the sky? And there's going to be a bunch of black vehicles going left and right transporting like raw materials for the AI Nexus. And you go, oh, that's the Nexus. Well, what's that? Well, those are the transport vehicles for the entity that controls the planet and rules over the galaxy. Yep. And then, or maybe not that point, galaxy, but over the planetary colonization system of artificial intelligence. And you're just a couple of humble ants.
Well, I'll tell them those are the things that'll blow Grandpa up if I tweet one more thing they don't like.
Blackville IRL.
You're like, well, actually, it's the AI Nexus. And all of a sudden, 10 of them just break and then fly down and surround you and start spinning. And then barrels come out pointed at you. And then smiley faces appear on the screen being like, we love you,
Yeah,
right?
Great. Yep.
Hell, grandson, we love him.
It's the future. I mean, that's kind of how it is in Afghanistan because of all the drones. When I was working at an auction gallery, we started to see a lot of prayer rugs coming to the auction gallery from Afghanistan. They saw so many drones over there. They started to stitch them around the prayer rugs. So it was like a part of their everyday life because their sky was filled with drones from Obama.
I don't actually think the AI is going to kill you, though.
Not yet.
No, it's not. It's never. It's not going to kill you in the way where like it shows up with a gun and says do it or else. It's going to just give you drugs and stuff. It's going to be the machine is going to tell you whatever you want to hear, and it's going to make you believe whatever it wants you to believe.
It'll be like that, but there's also stuff like AI Lavender that they're doing in Gaza. That's a death machine.
But I'm saying like when the AI fully takes over, there's not going to be a need for the AI to be like, you are going to die. It's going to be like, you require medical assistance in dying. Mm-hmm. And the person's going to go, I do. Yep. They're going to believe it all because the AI isn't just mechanisms. It is the networks of information we have.
It'll be a tool of Big Pharma at that point, just pumping you full of slop.
I mean, I don't see how our economy exists in the AI future. One thing we were talking about with all these prediction markets is that I was like, maybe the post-capitalism future is when everyone's just too fat because there's food everywhere, and we have an abundance of properties and houses. I'm like, when we get to that point, then the only way to make money is to be able to predict future events. So everyone's just sports betting and doing events contracts, and it's like you were right, something happened, so now you can buy an extra slice of pizza.
Nothing ever happens though. So no one ever gets any money.
Just canceled. Everyone's canceled.
Right.
But it's literally just betting on like, will Trump say the word nuclear this week? And you're going to be like, I think he will. I think he won't. He did. I guess you can buy that new car you wanted. And then people are just trying to get better at being right about stuff. I mean, I'm describing what's happening now.
Seriously. That's
I wonder if we're like, when are we going to see the first like Kalshi millionaire? Like some 18-year-old kid who had like $300 went on Kalshi and then traded events up to millions of dollars.
Watch it be the guy with the Neuralink. The first Neuralink patient.
Just he can predict what's happening. I mean, that's pretty crazy. The idea that I will say this. There are some very obvious Kalshi bets you can make where it's like, maybe I shouldn't say bets, but trades, where it's like a 95% chance of happening. So you put in $100, you win $3 or something. It's $3. And if you're picking contracts that end in like a few days, you put in $1,000, you get $30 for free. It's like literally free money. Yep. I have to imagine there's a bunch of people doing arbitrage where they're just going in and betting on sure things and then making money from doing it.
Kalshi future.
Have you seen these videos where, gambling content is skyrocketing? It's Gen Z's thing. Gen Z's thing is now to be gambling. There are these videos where like a guy walks into a restaurant like a fast food place, and he's like, let me get, a double cheeseburger and a large fry. And they're like, that'll be, 21, 67. And he goes, hold on. Then he pulls up his phone and he goes to a gambling app, and then he bets $20 on blackjack, loses, doubles it. It's called martingaling, loses, doubles it to $80, wins. He goes, all right, just paid for my lunch.
I think that's a gambling ad, but I do know what kind of content you're talking about.
They're ads. That is, these people are sponsored by the companies to do these things. Right. And there's a bunch of them. There's a guy who walks in to buy a coffee at Starbucks. He's like, how much is it? And they're like $4.79. He goes, hold on. Opens up the app and he puts $5 on blackjack. Hit it. All right, coffee's free.
Yeah, well, it's this entire gambling industry. They have so much money to throw at these different advertisements. And especially as we legalize different parts of online gambling, particularly in the sports betting world, it's taking over so much of different ad space. It's DraftKings and all these other...
You know what it is? It's lowest common denominator. Everybody likes it. It's entertaining. And young people are getting very into it. And so here's the secret right now. This change is going to happen. The CPMs for gambling content, it's like 5 times greater than that for cultural and news content. I guarantee you will start to see this pop up among prominent influencers who typically did not do this. The people who are in the... Let me just put it this way. Hey, notice all those conservative influencers who are promoting gambling websites getting paid to do it? You didn't see that? We covered it last week.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Elijah Schaefer, I believe, Pearl, and others were promoting a gambling website Americans aren't allowed to use. And I guess the rumor is they're paying something like $12,000 a month or something. I don't know if that's the true number.
They're very far from the only ones, too, because I believe Aiden Ross and even Drake have a deep involvement with Stake that's paying out. It's like an online gambling website that's paying out millions. And I think it's really sad because these are huge industries literally just made off of the backs of losing men, of poor men literally losing their money. You don't win. That's how the industry makes money. The money doesn't come anywhere but from your pockets. And guess what? Rich people don't actually gamble. People like Drake don't actually gamble.
That's not true.
They're already rich, more often than not.
No. The issue with Drake gambling and like Dana White is that they can't gamble. They make so much money, they could never gamble.
They're sponsored by
Dana White's
companies. He's not sponsored by anything, you don't think? Any of these casinos?
Dana
White, UFC to...
I'm sure. Isn't Dana White a billionaire? Yeah, so when he bets $100,000, he doesn't need to be sponsored.
Yeah, but he does UFC promotions at these different casinos and hotel resorts, and he has a deep relationship with them, and he's self-interested in advertising for them through his work.
I would agree with you that these guys often are sponsored in such a way to promote it, but I think I was reading like I don't know if I think it was Post Malone. I can't remember the number, but he said it's a story I heard. Maybe I'm misremembering, but he said something like I have to play at least $10,000 blackjack hands, otherwise I don't feel anything, because he's so rich.
Yeah.
So dark. This is so dark.
I actually I don't know if I completely agree. I think there's a problem that so many casinos are popping up, but people get entertainment and waste their money on lots and lots of things. I would rather someone, there's limits to this, but let me ask you guys: would you rather someone spend their entire paycheck on eating cake and like ding dongs and ho hos, and doing mukbang,
or what?
Or like going to a bar, sports book where they bet several $100s on a football game, and then maybe they win or lose.
Cake.
At least when you're buying and eating the cake, you're contributing to an industry and you're hiring other people, and it's stimulating the economy. These casinos and different online betting sports books are just feels like leeches on society. They don't make anything. They don't produce anything for the economy. As opposed to, I mean, you could be gluttonous and disgusting and a fat pig eating a bunch of fucking cake, which
and
is
then we die.
gross, and die. But like,
I gotta be honest.
You could lose all your money a lot quicker gambling the $1,000 away than eating $1,000 worth of cake.
It is better that okay, so I'm not advocating for an authoritarian system of taking people's money away, but I will just say a flat mathematical analysis. It is better that someone loses the excess money they have than gorges themselves in a mukbang video.
Well, you know, the government does this in a certain way with Social Security. They make you
right. Well, Bloomberg wanted to tax. He banned large sodas, and he wanted to tax the poor because they make bad decisions. I'm not in favor of that, but it is true. If you took one of these poor people who's gorging themselves on these videos where these fat women are like, here's what I give my 9-year-old to eat, and they take like a whole freezer bag of pizza rolls, and then they like put mayonnaise on it, and then their kids just, I'm like, we'd be better off if they didn't have that money. I am not saying we should take their money from them. I'm saying if they're entertained by sports betting, both have their detriments. Both are fine in moderation. A person who goes to a bar with his buddies and they're hanging out, they're having a good time. He got a fork and he says, "Look, man, I'm tired. I just want to add a little fun to the game. We're gonna watch football. It's Monday night or whatever." And I put $50 down. I got no problem with that. He then orders a slice of cake after he has his cheeseburger. I got no problem with that. The dude who dumps his entire paycheck gambling, like some of these people are doing, that's wrong. But then what do? Do you say you're not like we take away the freedom of choice for the people who do these things? My point is this. There's a lot of things that are really bad. The expansion of casinos, the over-gambling, gambling influence, all of this stuff is out of control. But I don't know that we create a society where we say, we're going to ban this because some people are abusive, unless you want to make the argument fat people shouldn't be allowed to buy cake anymore. And I don't mean that facetiously. I mean, should we tell morbidly obese people they're not allowed to buy desserts?
Fat people can eat and buy as much cake as they want, but I don't want to have to pay for their health care when they inevitably get diabetes and have to cut off their leg.
Agreed.
The issue is with some of these vices, when they get so bad and can ruin lives so aggressively, it's like, where do we put the limit? It's like the same thing, I believe, for certain drugs where some are legal and some are illegal, and the illegal ones kind of go beyond
I got to tell you, it is a fact that obesity is a bigger problem than gambling addiction. Like, the United States has a massive obesity problem. And so, honest question, like, how do you deal with it? I don't like the idea that you can go to some, like, construction worker guy who he's like, "Listen, man, once a week, Sunday nights, me and the boys get together, we order burgers, we have a beer, and I put $50 down on FanDuel or DraftKings, and then we all get to laugh and cheer when we were right or wrong, and I lost $50, or I won $50 this week." It is a problem when a guy takes his entire paycheck, goes to the craps table, loses it all, is shaking. That's bad. Mm-hmm. And we try to create rules to stop that. At the same time, it is substantially worse. The United States has a morbid obesity crisis.
I think these are cultural issues and that couldn't ultimately be solved at the government level. On the gambling thing, I will say, though, the people who advertise and push this shit literally loathe you and think you are an idiot and willing to sell you out for money. They know you will lose. They hate you and are still willing to sell you out for maybe $5 or $10 grand.
And the guy who sells ho-hos and ding-dongs and all these garbage foods, no, they're pumping you full of poison and they hate you. I don't agree with that.
You think that's morally equivalent? People who push gambling versus people who push sweet treats?
I think the sweet treats are worse.
A baker is worse than a person.
A baker? We're talking about tartrazine being pumped into children, bro. This is really funny. Like, I can't remember who it was. There was like a cereal company announced they were. No. It was Doritos, I think. Was it Doritos? There was a post that went viral where I think it was Doritos, I could be wrong, said we're now creating an artificial dye-free version, and then went, so the poison was a choice. The poison. So my point is this. If you choose to go play a game, whether it be an arcade, which is worse than gambling, mind you, because arcade rewards are like 2% of what casino rewards are. Kids go to arcades to win tickets off of playing whack-a-mole, and the amount of money you spend there is substantially less than you get back. So everybody's going to go and spend money on some form of entertainment, and people like going to casinos. People are entertained by what they're entertained by. The abuse and the abuse of vice is the problem. But I will tell you this. These food companies that are knowingly putting oil, they're putting petroleum derivatives in their food so it sells better, knowing it's causing mental issues and killing people, is substantially worse than creating a space where a guy can hang out on the weekend and make sports bets, or where someone wants to play some blackjack. You are upset, Elaad, because some people abuse this, but most people don't actually gamble that much.
I think this is a system that's taking advantage of young, poor men. I think young men are struggling in our country. They're struggling with porn addiction. They're struggling with women. They're struggling with different substances. And now they're struggling with addiction to gambling too. A quick way to, you're struggling with money, you're poor. Here's a quick way out of your struggle. You need money and you need some success. You can come gamble. You have some sports knowledge. Come gamble with us. We'll make your life better. I think they're selling people a false dream. And a lot of the advertisers do the same way. That's one of my biggest beefs with the industry.
I will tell you what I have a problem with. There's conspiracy theories that these gambling influencers are playing rigged games. There was a video of a guy betting $1,000 on blackjack, and everybody accused. There was a viral video where they said what's really happening is these influencers call the casinos. The casinos give them a rigged machine in an isolated space where they're guaranteed to win, and it's not real money. So they'll put money in. again, conspiracy theory. The casino will say, we're going to preload a machine with 100 grand. You're going to hit it until you win it. Then you're going to walk away. Nobody wins or loses any money. But on camera, it looks like they just won $1 million.
Exactly.
The truth is, I will say this. Of all these videos you see where even if it's real, they actually win these slots, it is not possible to win these big jackpots. This is absolutely a scam, and I agree with you on this one. So when you see a video of someone playing a high-limit slot machine, the reason why I believe these are rigged and it's a conspiracy is that the pay table for slots is the same no matter how much money you put in it. Let me put it this way. Think about how a slot machine, in Vegas, they have slots in 99% payout. They're outright telling you, if you put $100 in, we'll give you 99. You're hoping that you catch the machine in the middle where someone else already lost the $100 and you put in 10 and win their 99. That means if you put 20 grand in a machine, it literally cannot pay you out more than went into it. So what actually happens with these slots when you see these people, they're like, I'm going to bet $1,000 a spin. The pay table is the same if it's $5 or $1,000 bet. On the $1,000 bet, you win 1-to-1. That means if you get like 3 of a kind and it pays 1-to-1, you'll win $1,000. But when you hit a bonus, you still only win $200 because most slots aren't paying out on the actual slot itself. They're paying out on bonus structures that are capped to pay out between $1,000 and $3,000. Sometimes it's very rare they have the jackpots or whatever. So I agree with you on that. That I think is a conspiracy, the advertising of it. My point ultimately, though, before we go to chats, because we definitely have to, is that I don't look at a working class guy having a beer as a problem, but there are alcoholics. I don't look at someone buying a ho-ho and eating it with a nice glass of milk. Maybe they put some melted peanut butter on it. Oh, now you're getting fatty, man. That's kind of crazy. You're allowed to do it. I do have a problem with these food companies pumping their foods full of chemical garbage they know kills people. I do have a problem with casinos lying. If they are, again, I can't accuse anybody specifically of wrongdoing, but the presumption is they're faking these videos. The manipulation I have a problem with. If a person makes a choice, that's the person's choice. I think we agree, though. These are all cultural problems. If we had a functioning culture, people just we wouldn't have so many casinos. We'd have Atlantic City and Vegas, and that's it. Now, this is crazy. We got MGM. Maryland is building casinos like crazy. You've got MGM National Harbor. 40 minutes away, you got Maryland Live. 40 minutes away, you've got Horseshoe. 40 minutes away, you've got Hollywood Perryville. Then now they're talking about, I heard a rumor they want to open a casino in Virginia, just to the west of D.C., in Tyson's Corner. Times Square is going to have a Caesars. Downtown Chicago or on the river is going to have a Bally's. And it's just, is this late stage capitalism?
You don't need to go that far. It's all on your phone. You're really able to do that all from your phone ultimately.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.